So, are we ready? Are we done freaking out? Gonna talk about this with level heads now? Are we ready for reason to prevail?
Reason will prevail!
Alright, then let's do this. Hello and welcome to another episode of Hockey Talkie Trade Deadline Recap Edition. What a day it was. If you were F5ing, refreshing the Twitter all day, well, I was right there alongside you. Now, if you watched my trade deadline preview video from a couple weeks ago, you'll know that I expected today to be pretty quiet for the Hawks, and for the most part, at least early on, it pretty much was. If you woke up late, if you, didn't really check in to Twitter or check the news until later on, you didn't really miss a whole lot. Blackhawks did end up making a couple trades though, although all of them came basically with about an hour left to go before the trade deadline. But we're going to talk about them, and we're going to talk about them from the order of least value to highest value. So let's dig in. First trade we're going to talk about is one between the Hawks and the Philadelphia Flyers. Blackhawks sending centerman Nathan Noel to Philadelphia in exchange for defenseman TJ Brennan. So this is a minor league deal. Noel, 22 years old, centerman, getting sent to the Flyers. He's actually going to be assigned to their ECHL squad. So obviously Noel is not a guy that's really progressed as well as the Hawks would have liked. One of the reasons why they sent him away here. Opens up a forward spot for someone else down in Rockford. Meanwhile, TJ Brennan, 30 years old, defenseman, coming to Rockford. Not his first time playing for Rockford, though. He played for the Ice Hogs back during the 2014-2015 season, so the Hawks getting a bit of a familiar name back from this trade. Once again, AHLer. He's just going to be kind of one of those veteran presence guys in the AHL. So obviously, minor league deal, right? Not the type of deal that you look forward to during trade deadline, but AHL deals do happen this time of year, and they're still worthy of some commentary. Now, the next two trades that the Blackhawks made were of the higher value variety, NHL-level deals, the type of deals that you look forward to and expect during trade deadline, and they involved players that we, as Blackhawks fans and media, kind of expected to get shipped away. So let's start off with the Erik Gustafsson deal. The Chicago Blackhawks trade Erik Gustafsson to the Calgary Flames in exchange for a conditional third-round pick this year. What does that conditional third-round pick mean, or why is it conditional? Well, it's a little complicated, but I'm going to explain the best I can, so here we go. So right now, at this moment, the Calgary Flames only have one third-round pick. They have their own third-round pick. Last summer, the Flames made a trade with the Edmonton Oilers. You probably heard about it. It involved James Neal and Milan Lucic. And that trade gave the Calgary Flames the Edmonton Oilers third-round pick on some conditions. So it was a conditional third-round pick. So right now, those conditions haven't been met yet. So technically, the Flames don't have it. However, if those conditions are met by the end of the year, then the Flames will get that third-round pick, and they would have two third-round picks. They'd have the Edmonton Oilers and their own. The Blackhawks would receive the better of those two picks. So whichever team does worse this season. Now, if the Flames don't get Edmonton's third-round pick, then the Blackhawks just get the third-round pick of the Flames. The Edmonton Oilers third-round pick, the conditions on that are that James Neal scores 21 or more goals this year, and that Milan Lucic scores 10 or less. Right now, at this point in time, with about 20 games left, James Neal has 19 goals, and Milan Lucic has 6 goals. So, it could happen. But, it's really not that much of a difference. The Blackhawks will get the better of the two, if there's two. They'll just get the better third-round pick that the Flames have. So, that's the condition. Hopefully that makes sense. But that's what the Blackhawks got in exchange for Erik Gustafsson. Now, if you were on Twitter during the time of this trade, you may have seen some reactionary tweets. Some people freaking out that we didn't get enough value back for trading Gustafsson, and I would respond to that by saying, what did you expect? Seriously, we bashed Gustafsson all year. We complained about his poor play all year, and we expect to get a lot in return after that? Are you serious? Yes, he put up 60 points last year. Could we have gotten more for him trading him last year? Yes, absolutely. Probably would have got a first-round pick. But we didn't. Hindsight is 2020. Is it a mistake? We can say that now. Sure, it was. But we didn't expect him to fall off like he has this year. Maybe not score 60 points again, but, I mean, come on. He dropped significantly this year. We did not expect him to fall that much. We expected him to net us more. But unfortunately, it didn't work out for, well, him or us. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I would have liked to get a second for him, but if no team is willing to part with a second for a guy that's, well, struggled this year, then he's not worth a second at this point in time. Blackhawks got some sort of value out of him instead of nothing. And is it maybe up to our standards or what we expected? No. But it's not terrible. It's not, considering the circumstances, it's not an awful trade. It is what it is. Now, if you were mad about that trade, you were probably a little upset with the next one too. The Chicago Blackhawks trading goaltender Robin Lehner and retaining 50% of his cap hit, that's important, to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for goaltender Malcolm Subban, defenseman Slava Demen, and a second-round draft pick this year. Now, the interesting thing is that this was actually a 3-team trade, and Robin Lehner was technically traded to the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs came in kind of as a middleman to help the Vegas Golden Knights get this deal done and fit it under their salary cap. The Maple Leafs offered to retain an additional 22% of Robin Lehner's contract and gave the Vegas Golden Knights Martin Dzirkles to the Vegas Golden Knights in exchange for a 5th-round draft pick. So Maple Leafs getting a draft pick out of it, basically paying cash for it. Now, you may ask, well, why didn't the Hawks just retain more money to get that 5th-round draft pick? Well, the problem is that you can only retain 50%. That's the max the team can retain. So that's where the Toronto Maple Leafs came in. Now, does it suck to lose Robin Lehner? Yes, absolutely it does. He was a great guy. Robin was fantastic on and off the ice. Great interviews, great goaltender. He was a fantastic signing last offseason. To bring him on, to create the goalie tandem that was Corey Crawford and Robin Lehner, I mean, that was fantastic. We could have done some good things with that. The problem is, the players in front of him didn't really help out. But the goalie situation this year was one of the bright spots, and it sucks losing one of those guys. However, we weren't going to really be able to re-sign him after this year. I'm sorry, but that's kind of the truth. He's going to be commanding a lot of money. Some people say he was going to take a discount. I highly doubt that. He's going to go get his money. Somebody's going to pay him a lot of money. And quite frankly, I'm glad we're not the ones paying a lot of money for a goaltender, because it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense in this day and age. We've seen goaltenders get huge contracts and not really guarantee any sort of success. I'm fine with this. I'm fine that we found a way to get some sort of value from him. From a rental goaltender, Vegas probably is not going to be able to re-sign him either. So it's not like, he's their goalie for the future. So they're not going to give up a whole lot back. But we got something out of it. We got Malcolm Subban, who will be the backup goaltender for the rest of this year. I doubt we'll re-sign him after this year. He's just a backup. Then we get Slava Demen, who is a defenseman, a sophomore defenseman at the University of Denver. Same university, same college that Ian Mitchell is currently at as a senior. Ian Mitchell, we're kind of expecting to potentially sign him later this season when his college season is done. But Slava Demen is a guy that is a sophomore and will probably spend all 4 years in college before moving to the pro system, in Rockford or whatever. So he's got some time to develop. And then we get a second rounder for this year's draft. This year's draft, pretty good draft, it looks like. So second rounder, pretty darn good. Honestly, I'm fine with this return. Is it terribly great? No, but at this point in time, like rental goaltenders, there's not really a huge market for them. it kind of is what it is. Once again, just because you think they're worth something doesn't mean that's the actual market value at this point in time. It is what it is. We are about a year away from the expansion draft. A lot of things are going to change. A lot of these moves, or some of these moves, are taking that into account. Now, with all that said, I hope you're viewing what went down today with a little bit more clarity, maybe a little bit more of a level head. I know our emotions kind of flared up earlier today, kind of fired up when these trades initially happened because, I mean, that's what the trade deadline is. These types of trades this time of year kind of tugs on your emotions a bit. So I don't blame you. I don't blame you for getting all kind of bent out of shape about it. But hopefully, with this video, hopefully you understand that these trades probably aren't as bad as you initially thought. Are they as good as you hoped? Probably not. But that's the trade deadline. It's a fickle beast. So, I hope that we're all a bit calmer now. We're not doing the reactionary barstool hot takes that are pure crap. Seriously, if you get your information, sports information from Barstool Sports, I don't know what to tell you. Get some help. Seriously. It's pure crap that they do over there. Anyhow, rant over. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Hawks Recap. I hope you got some sort of enjoyment out of it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. Like, share, and subscribe. Appreciate that as always. But most importantly, stay safe, make good decisions, and we'll see you next time.